mamas. Welcome to the newest episode of Mom It Like It's Hot. And we are getting inside anxiety and depression in this one. We are also going to be sharing an offer we have from some friends of ours that can help you do more and stress less this new year. So stay tuned for that. But the two articles that we are going to be sharing today are What My Depression Did to Me and then Trapped by Anxiety in the Chaos of Motherhood. So the first one was actually written by me all the way back in the beginning of 2016, so like 8 years ago now. It's still a constant recurring struggle for me and something that I have to constantly be aware of the triggers and the warning signs of heading down that path and making sure that I don't get back to that place again. But just want to share my story just in case anybody else is struggling with anything, and hopefully it will help. So I was back to my high school weight, feeling great, crazy in love with the best man I'd ever met, and loving life. Then the end of 2013 happened. Some people I had thought were my closest friends betrayed me in several ways and went on a campaign to destroy my marriage. They did everything they could to destroy my reputation and destroy me. Some people just can't stand others happy. I wasn't as strong as I thought I was. After a few months of this, my husband was worn down and I started hiding further and further within myself. I stopped working out, stopped doing the things I loved. I lost my job. I ate all the time and very unhealthy things. And I was extremely sensitive to anything that even sounded like criticism from my husband. On reflection, he was actually extremely supportive and showed me so much love and patience during 2014. I put on over 40 pounds that year. I didn't even really see myself for months. I was in such a haze. I think I ended up in tears every day. My self-esteem tanked. I didn't want to do anything anymore but sleep and eat. After the holidays, the end of 2014, I saw a picture of myself and I didn't even recognize me anymore. I went in the mirror and really looked at myself. I had no idea whose body that was in that reflection. I got on the scale and realized that I weighed more than I did when I went to the hospital to have my child. That was tough. These revelations caused me to fall into an even deeper depression. I was so embarrassed and ashamed of how far I'd let myself go. I felt like I was clawing out of this deep, dark hole, scratching and fighting my way out. One day, my daughter came up to me and asked, "Mommy, why are you always crying?" That broke my heart. I made a decision that day to get my mind right again. It was January of 2015, and I enrolled at Planet Fitness, got out my FitnessPal app, and worked on getting my head on straight again. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Around April of 2015, I finally felt like I was stronger mentally again. My eyes had suddenly opened to all the excuses I'd been making for myself and how sensitive I was to anything and everything said to me. I realized that I took what anyone said to me, and that was how I viewed myself during pretty much all of 2014. By September of the 2015, I had lost 23 pounds of what I'd put on. My health was better. I wasn't crying all the time anymore, and I felt a little more like myself. During the last 4 months of this past year, I slacked off a bit and didn't make it to the gym once. As a result, I didn't lose any more weight for the rest of the year. Going into 2016, I felt so strong mentally. I know I am so much less sensitive about everything and recognize myself a little bit more in the mirror. I still have so much work to do, but I know I can do it. I started using the MyFitnessPal app again and gave my fitness goals a jumpstart at bar 3. Instead of looking back on the pictures of me from before 2014 and feeling bad about myself, I now can look at those pictures and feel inspired to get back to work and be my best me again. I promised myself to never let myself go down that path to depression again. I do it for me, I do it for my marriage, and I do it for my daughter. And I'm happy to say that while the past, 8 years have not been easy, I have not let myself go back into a deep depression like that. So that is something. Still tons of work to do on myself, but just a little bit of encouragement to anybody else. And then the next one is by Andrea Limke, a good friend of mine and one of our writers. Trapped by Anxiety in the Chaos of Motherhood. The word anxiety is thrown around quite a bit these days. It seems everyone is struggling with this somewhat nondescript word in a society that is putting more pressure on all of us than ever before. Moms, especially, talk about anxiety almost with the same frequency as asking for recommendation on what type of butt cream to use for their babies. It's out there, it's mainstream, and that in and of itself is a little scary. But what does anxiety look like for those moms who suffer from it? Of course, it looks unique for each person, and my story is no different. I can remember being nervous as a child, trying out for a team, joining a new club, or preparing for a big test. All these situations made me nervous and uncomfortable, but I pushed through and always learned from the outcome and grew as a person. The nerves went away. I knew this time around was different, just a few short days after my first child was born. We were driving home from the hospital and about to cross the bridge back into Kentucky. As we approached the bridge, my heart started racing. I felt dizzy, and my mind was consumed with all the terrifying scenarios that could happen when crossing a bridge. And in fact, that my brand new baby boy was strapped in next to me, and I felt as if I may pass out. Most people may not be able to pinpoint the moment they began their struggle with anxiety, but for me, this was it. Time went on, and it seemed as if these overwhelming feelings would just come and go in what I assumed was normal for new moms. Combine the stress of being a new mom with the lack of sleep and raging hormones, and no wonder why so many women feel as if they're drowning while in the chaos of motherhood. I made it through the birth of my second child and a major surgery a few months after that, and felt as if I had a better grasp on everything, and maybe those pesky anxious feelings and episodes were gone for good. Unfortunately, it's a little more persistent than that. The past year, I've finally been able to define what the word anxiety looks and feels like for me. With a few big life changes and an intense health scare with my mom, I can honestly say I am struggling to find that grasp again. You'd never guess it either, which is the funny thing about anxiety, or any mental issue for that matter. You can scroll through my Facebook page or Instagram feed and think I have a perfect stress free life. Of course, that's not the case for any of us. Looks are deceiving. While I can function on a day to day basis, I feel that entrapment of anxiety every hour of the day. I yell more than I'd like. I constantly worry about every little thing. I feel unsettled in my seemingly easy existence, and sleep is a chore as my mind never shuts down. I'm lucky because I know there are so many of you out there dealing with anxiety in an even more intense way. So many moms who are struggling to find that grasp and feel as if they should be fine, but yet something is not quite right. I understand, and you're not alone. Hopefully, if you are feeling trapped by anxiety, you are seeking help. Talk to your doctor, family, and friends. You are not crazy, and you are most certainly not alone. I knew these feelings were more than just nerves when I struggled to find joy because my constant worry and distraction. There is way too much joy in this world, although it doesn't always seem that way, for you to not feel it. Life is too short to feel trapped, and you can find a way to manage life amidst the chaos. You already know that your children are worth the battle, but you know what? You're worth it too. Thanks so much for that reminder, Andrea, and for sharing your story. Um, and yes, we are not alone. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this content, make sure to click the like button, share with a friend, and hit the bell to subscribe and be notified when we have new stuff to share. Doesn't cost anything, so why not? Friends of ours at Magic Mind gifted me some of these amazing little like shot-sized healthy bottles to try out because as busy moms, they know that we are looking for ways to have healthy, sustained energy that we're not going to have crashes with afterwards, and just to help us stay focused and take care of ourselves better. So, been trying it for a while now. I take the quick little shot. Yes, it tastes healthy, but it doesn't taste horrible. It actually tastes pretty good, and it smells nice. And I drink that alongside my coffee. It's actually helped me decrease some of the coffee intake that I've had and just stay more mentally sharp and focused. So really great for me. Definitely something if you want to try it as well. As a fellow mom, I would recommend it. And it's got a ton of really great magical ingredients. A couple that stood out to me most were matcha, because I have a teenage daughter, and matcha is something that these girls are obsessed with now. But the one that I was really excited about was lion's mane mushroom. It helps reduce anxiety and inflammation while also supporting cognition by preventing neural degeneration and stimulating neural regeneration. I had been reading up on it for a while, and it's something that I wanted to add to my nutrition and health routine. So it was great that I could just try it out in this. So we actually have a special link and a discount code so you guys could try it out for yourself. So only for January of 2024, you get 1 month for free when you subscribe for 3 months. And you go to www.magicmind.com/Jan, short for January, so JAN, and then MILIH. It's the initials for our podcast, Mom It Like It's Hot. And then you can also use our special code MILIH20, where you can get an extra 20% off, which gets you actually up to 75% off. And this only lasts again until the end of January this year. So hurry up and try it out before it goes away. But yeah, it's great. So try it out for yourself. To everybody that struggles with anxiety and depression, know that you have a place here with us. You can always reach out to us directly if you just want some extra support or some guidance on more resources that we could point you to. So let's do more and stress less this new year. And everybody take care. Scan the QR code to be taken to our site and see all the new stuff that we put out every week.